Bro, there's nothing worse than going to your favorite corner shop and then they tell you the stock is out.
Yo, people are selling Ayiko. I hate that, bro. It's Ayiko. That time it's your favorite drink that you want.
That's why businesses need ODOO inventory. It keeps track of everything. Stock levels, vendor lead times, orders, all in real time. You can manage multiple warehouses, transfers, receipts, and deliveries, and set up replenishment and reorder rules.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, man. This ensures that you never overstock or run out. With ODOO, whether you're running an inventory, accounting, sales, or building your own business online and so much more, it's all in one place. And I'm literally yet to see anything as convenient as this stuff for anyone running a fully fledged business in this country.
Exactly. Even integrates with sales and accounting automatically.
So when we sell our own podcast and chill merch, we'd always know what's available.
Yes, no more. We are out of hoodies drama.
ODOO inventory, because let's be real, guys, being out of stock is not a vibe.
Yeah, definitely, man. ODOO's got your back with the first app, as always, free for life.
Yeah.
So you can start managing your inventory free if you choose it as your first app. Check out the link below. And please welcome our guest, none other than Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Mr. Ronald Lamola!
But it's strange, yeah. I mean, the introduction, we're used to it for months.
Come on, man.
Good morning.
Nah, you guys got to be in sometimes where you disagree with an appointment. You don't need to say who, but obviously you reserve it to yourself.
I can't. It's above my pay grade. Calling them to order is a nice way in diplomatic language. They call this a demarche.
Yeah.
But when we say we've demarched you, it's a nice diplomatic way to say the public that no, we've called you to order.
Lamuli.
They have something called BEE equivalent.
Yeah.
We said invest, but you have to comply with our laws.
Yeah.
He has to comply with the law. If there is any challenge with that issue, we were even prepared to say, how do we help you to still invest?
Yeah.
But they've taken a posture and a decision that they won't come. So we marked them that they're absent. Mm-hmm. They didn't come. And we proceeded with the business of the G20.
But word is, we got money from Iran to take Israel to ICJ.
It's nonsense. I mean, it's nonsense. Because you can imagine how much we're going to spend. Every day someone will be spending.
Book a one-way ticket, Baba. One-way ticket to Vegas. Blow all my savings. Blow everything.
All right, so today is a very different Monday. It's a Monday like no other because Honorable Ronald Lamola decided to join us.
Yes.
So we thought it'd be cool to drop it on a Monday while it's still fresh because he spoke about most of the things that are happening in the country
Right
now.
now. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We know people want to say, where's the Monday episode?
Obvious.
Just like the three musketeers, the three of you. I think it's valid, man.
Yeah. What did you think of Lamola?
Nah, great, man. I think he's very presidential. You know, he's very presidential. He's somebody who's relatable, young, man. He's so young, eh? Yeah, but he's such a politician, though.
Yeah.
In terms of his answering of questions,
They trade,
or not.
Yeah.
He's a politician, and obviously he's like, after the president and the deputy, he's like one of our biggest diplomats because he travels all over the world.
Yeah.
So the way he answers, he's a politician.
It's like they all go to the school where they're trained.
Yes.
Tumelo Ramaphosa didn't go to that schools, but you know.
I was trained at home. He was trained from an early age at home. He's gonna call you again, eh? I say, what's wrong with this guy, bro? Jeez, man.
Ghost Lady, what did you think?
I think he's really built to be a president one day. I can see him, The way he's answering, the way he's positioned himself, the way he carries himself, you can see that, okay. Give him like 10, 20 years,
20! Another 6 to 7-year-old president.
At this rate, you see how what ANC goes for.
But
you need to be older.
That's you assuming ANC is still in the run. 20 years from now.
Yeah.
Before we get to the episode, just a quick announcement. Before the big festive season truly kicks off this December, our partners at Hollywood Bets are giving you 3 million reasons to play this month. It's time to join the Spinner Zonke jackpot race. You can win your share of a massive 3 million rand prize pool this December. The race happens every single Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday this month, Penduka.
Yeah.
Make sure you're spending between 8:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. That's when the action happens. To enter, all you need to do is bet 2 rand or more on any Spinner Zonke game during that 2-hour window. You could be one of thousands of winners. So if you're ready to win, go ahead and click the link in the pinned comment below this video. When you sign up, don't forget to use our promo code Chillers. This is your chance to win big this festive season. But as always, this is strictly for 18 years older. Good luck. Do you guys know about the Google's year in search?
Yeah, come on, man. Who wasn't born yesterday? Yeah, I know that thing.
Who doesn't know?
As usual, Google's back. Google is back with another set of this year's top trending searches. Today, we're going to look at the top trending how-to searches. Do you guys want to take a guess what people searched this year?
I wonder.
How to subscribe to Podcast and Chill.
That should be number one. Here are the actual top trending how-to searches for 2025, right?
Yeah.
How to vote on Big Brother.
Oh.
How to
damn.
log in Hollywood Bets. How to apply for SAPS online.
Oh, yeah, those are big. Those applications are big. Have you been to... Because I'm saying... certification, apply around. It's so packed. Those are very popular, but obviously it makes sense with the jobs and unemployment. Yeah.
How to qualify for Club World Cup. How to check tax return.
Oh,
How to apply for two-pot system online withdrawal. Oh, that was big, remember?
Yeah, that was big. Man, people...
how to check 370 payment date. How to apply for refugee status in the USA from SA.
How?
Oh, yeah, that is popular. Those lotteries. You know those... citizenship lotteries that they have. Like Canada will have, US will have. Guys will literally apply for all of them because people will just want to go and experience the American
I thought
dream.
it was for the 49 who left.
Yeah, I thought so too. Me too. That's what I thought.
I'm overthinking it.
49 of them were applying.
And lastly, it's how to make pickled fish.
Wow.
That's not a black thing, man. Who's trying to make pickled fish, man?
I know it's popular at Easter.
Easter,
Around
pickled
Easter,
fish
so
and cross
pickled
buns.
Fish, yeah.
Is it a black thing?
No,
No,
it's a Easter meal. It's like gammon being a Christmas thing. Have you ever had gammon on Christmas?
No.
I make gammon.
You make gammon?
Sometimes.
Ooh,
Whoa, for real, with the strings and you tie it.
Yep.
Whoa, man, I've never had gammon.
You've never.
But it's pork, right?
Yeah, it is pork. It's
Pork
just
belly.
a meat, yeah.
Yeah.
Not belly. It's another part, but it's, it's pork.
Which part of it is the gammon?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a big
very,
pork guy,
I don't
unless
know
it's
black.
bacon.
Yeah, but speaking about Google, they are back with the Chillers All Black. It's happening this week, yeah?
Whoa,
Yeah,
Google
yeah.
are back with the Chillers all back.
Yeah, so they partnered with us for the Chillers All Black party.
Oh,
Yes.
Big sense, man.
Yeah, big taste,
Jeez,
dog.
This is cool.
So the party's happening this week. We sent out an invite to our members. So if you're a member, you got an invite to come through.
Yes, and if you know the member, then you know if you know with us, then you know the member. Yeah, if you know with us, then you know the member. Left, right, and center.
So we can't wait to see you guys. It was strictly for members only. So it wasn't, not all the chillers got the invite. If you're a member, then you got an invite.
Because I'm
Yes.
like in the group, and I know this is an all black, but normally it's a huge thing. We tell them and we invite people. Oh, it's for members.
Yes.
Because I was wondering the tickets. I'm like, how? There's
Sorry?
no talk of tickets. Now I get it.
Yeah.
So what's the capacity of the venue?
I think it's about 300 people.
Oh,
So
that's
Google's
fine.
bringing their people. We've got our chillers. And then we're going to shoot an episode from there, which people will be able to watch. So if you're not coming, don't stress. We're going to drop an episode from the Google event.
Yeah.
And also all the chillers that can't make it for whatever reason, because it's during the week, people have work, people are from out of town, some
In
members.
December, some
Yes.
are waking up in a different country not knowing.
100%.
Yeah.
We're going to send merch and a goodie bag
Dope.
to our members because we did nothing for our members this whole year. Yeah, I understand. So just to say thank you and for the continued support, we're going to send out a goodie
Yeah,
bag.
we haven't forgotten about you.
Yes, just to say thanks and, long may it continue. And then, so that's the Chillers All Black event. Can't wait for that. That's going to be amazing. And then also, guess what? Penduka.
What's going
Ladies
on?
and gentlemen, where's the drum roll?
Wait,
Where's it?
what podcast
All
is
right,
this?
ladies and gentlemen, it's official.
Drop the
Chillers Punch is back, sponsoring Big Big Brother Mzansi season 6. So we bring back the more vibes, more energy. It's going to be more epic moments. There's some cool stuff we're going to do. Because when we did it last year, it was like a last minute thing. So now we have time to prepare.
Sick.
To like do cool stuff in the house.
Yeah,
So
man.
look out
Can't
for
wait for that.
Chiller's Punch. Big Brother starts in January 2026. And the theme for the new season is Bazozwa.
Bazozwa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice. So if you're deaf, you can't apply for Big Brother. What? They're not hearing. Hey, what you got emails? Fuck. We got emails and lawyers the last time we spoke about deaf people. Hey, I saw me in Big Brother. Bazozwa. The new season.
Yeah, new season.
Shout out. Bazozwa.
All right, cool, man. Let's get straight into the episode. Here we go. Here is Ronald Lamola. I know you're an Arsenal fan. Do you guys think they're going to take the league this year?
Definitely.
You think so?
I think we are this year.
Yeah, no, but you guys deserve it, man. Because they've been like bridesmaids for how many years?
Yo,
now?
for a while now.
Yeah, even bridesmaids graduates. This is our graduation year.
I feel like you win it if you don't go far in the Champions League. I think the further you stay in the Champions League, the more hard it will be to win the league.
No, I think we can do both. We have depth this year. Last year we didn't have the depth and the other ones. But I think this year we do.
That is a guy's quality, though.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I haven't been watching the thing in the Premier League. I don't want to lie.
Yeah.
But I know it's a new signing, the black guy, right? Yeah. I haven't been watching recently.
And then you watch the PSL?
No, I haven't been watching football. Who watches the PSL?
Locally, you Kaizer Chiefs, ne?
Yeah.
How's Kaizer Chiefs doing?
Obviously, I'm a disgruntled Kaizer Chiefs fan. We're not doing well. We're just complaining about the coach of Bafana excluding the Chiefs players. But it's a reality. We're not doing well.
Yeah.
So I think we need to perform.
Yeah.
Then maybe the coach can see if we were really performing. But in reality, I know why not. So yeah, but I do watch when I have a chance.
Yeah. And you've had a busy year, man. This year's been crazy for you, eh?
Yeah, it has been a roller coaster.
Anyway, let's get the show on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to it. We are back. So Penduka's here, Ghost Lady's here, and please welcome our guest, none other than Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Mr. Ronald Lamola. I gotta be honest with you, we stopped having politicians because a lot of them, they just come here, they sit here, they lie to us.
They want to be politically correct.
Yeah, and they just want the truth, you know what I mean?
But it's strange, I mean, the introduction, we're used to the 4 month part.
Come on, man.
Good morning.
Nah, you guys go to private.
I understand this is the reason why we don't come.
No, but thanks for coming. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. You grew up in a farm in Mpumalanga, yeah? What farm is this? What hood did you grow up in?
It's a TSB farm, Komati Port, on the border of South Africa and Mozambique. So that's where both my parents were working. My father is from an area called Kanimobi in Bushbuck Ridge. My mother is from an area called Steenbok on that side. But I did my primary education in the farm and then in the village in Bushbuck Ridge.
I heard that your parents were poor. Is that true?
They were both farm workers. I mean, under apartheid, farm workers we were just living from hand to mouth in the farm, and with
even
the hope that one day things could change.
Yeah,
even now. But that time it was I don't.
So how does it feel as a minister, right? Growing up poor, like in a farm or a village, right? And you go back to that same village, but nothing has changed, and you're a minister, you're in government. How does that make you feel like when you do that?
No, I feel proud because I have seen those farms. They're different now. Even my village where I come from, there was no water. During that time, we were getting water from the river and maybe boreholes and so forth. There was not enough water. Now there is pipe water in the village. Obviously, sometimes it's intermittently. There was no electricity. There is electricity now in the village. There was no, the schools, the infrastructure was not the same. Now it's a different issue. And the other huge big difference that the ANC government has done, obviously with the social grants. In that time, at school there was no school feeding schemes. My parents could not give me money for what is it, Mukero?
Hey,
Yeah,
They got it tucked up.
They could not afford it. There was no food at school. There was no meal. You will have to wait up until after school.
Yeah.
But now there is a meal. So there's a difference. I think there is a foundation that has been laid, but it's not all hunky-dory. There's a challenge of unemployment, there's crime, there's all things that we now have to address.
Yeah. So in December, when you go back, do you go back to Bushbuck Ridge?
Yes.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
In the village still.
Yes, that's where I come from. That's where I do go with my kids. My parents are still alive. So,
Oh wow!
so
That's fortunate, man.
Yeah,
That's-
I still go there.
So how did you end up in Univen? Because you studied in Univen, eh?
Yeah, I mean the universities are for everyone. It doesn't matter where it comes from, and mostly at the time, there were young people who were studying at Univen already. Univen, I think at the time it was Univen, University of the North, Teflop.
Yeah, Teflop. Oh, yes. I remember
Guyani.
Teflop. Yeah.
I think it was called Unigas.
Yeah.
Madzivandila Agricultural College.
Yeah.
So obviously because of the level of poverty in the areas around Bushbuck Ridge, most of us will go to those because that's what we could afford.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate because just before my sister is the one who helped me to go to school, but also with TEFSA. At the time it was TEFSA, what is now called NFSAS.
Okay.
So that combination enabled me to end up at Univen.
Yeah. Is that why you know Venda so well? Because your Venda is very fluent.
Yeah.
It might be better than mine.
No.
I suspect.
No, it's not better than yours, but that's the reason. I studied there. I was the president of the SRC at Univen.
Yeah.
So I lived there.
So I heard when
It's
you were
my
president.
second home.
I heard when you were president of the SRC, right? You used to throw parties.
Yeah.
Is this where you learned these moves? Can you play the video?
No.
This is where you learned these moves, eh? In Univen, eh? Which one is this one?
Hey man, what kind of dancing is this? It looks like those old movies where black people dance for white people in the US. Yes, master. Dancing. Moves, boy. Oh, moves are these? What kind of moves are these?
Even one Jim up here move. Why?
Chance.
So why would you guys throw parties? Because I know you don't even drink, and you associate partying with drinking and doing all sorts of things,
Yeah, obviously with university life, there's a freshers ball. Students still needs entertainment.
Yeah.
And so forth. So we used to, obviously as a SRC, you have to organize the freshers ball. You have to organize what the students' life needs.
Yeah.
Irrespective whether you drink or you don't, you still need to, but obviously you also have to encourage responsible behavior and so forth. So that was our life in the campus. And I think on that score, I read your thing with Minindlamini.
Yeah.
And I think the decision you took on the gender sensitivity, to do the gender sensitivity thing is a brilliant one because, as you are aware, the president has declared this issue of gender-based violence as classified as a national crisis.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good move. Mm-hmm. And I also hope that it will enable yourself and your show to be sensitive when you deal with this issue because it's a real issue that is impacting our society. But also, you are an example to many youngsters. I know my kids, I've got 2 boys. I hope that they can see an example in you, but also in all of us as public figures, we have got a responsibility that we have to carry for our society to send a strong message against misogyny, the beating of women, rape, and all types of things that are affecting our society. So I really hope that it will enable you to respond in a positive way and send a good message to our society. And I think because I read it from David, I hope that you will not wait for the court to tell you to do the gender sensitivity program. You will do it on your own.
How long did you practice that for?
what I've just said.
He
For-
came
Yeah,
prepared.
he came prepared. I'm like, affidavit. I'm like, yo, man, what affidavit?
minutes.
He came,
Yeah,
wrote him all the papers this morning.
I had to read the affidavit. Yeah, response. And obviously, what also Minnie has said
Yeah.
in her that she found it humiliating, and also on your side that you want to attend this sensitivity program. Obviously, I'm not a judge. I can't judge on those affidavits, but I think the message that this should send to society is that there must be a process of rehabilitation. We all have a responsibility to deal with the issue of gender-based violence, particularly the beating of women and all that. So I had to practice, I had to read, I had to prepare.
How does that story come to your lap? Like, how does it grab your attention? Is it someone from your office who's like, hey, this is what's happening? Or are you on social media and you're seeing what's happening?
No, obviously I live here, and even when I'm outside, I read the news. I saw it. I saw the exchange when it started, and obviously the outrage from society as it was unfolding. I saw it. You will remember was the Minister of Justice. So also the gender groups that deals with this. So obviously I will see it from those.
How did you feel about one of the deputy ministers? They wanted blood. They were wanted our head. And what's her name?
Steve.
Yeah. She wanted us in
Steve.
parliament. What
Yeah.
What did you make of that?
Yeah, obviously, there is an element of accountability that she wanted. I think that is the heart she came from, that she wants accountability on the issue. And from my perspective, I thought that it was a good thing that there must be accountability. But the issues were that whether the rules allows it and all that. But I think the message she was sending was a message of accountability, which I think you guys are now taking seriously from what I've read in the affidavit.
Yeah. No, beautiful, man. So how do you get into the ANC?
Yeah, obviously, as a youngster, as you have said, I grew up in a farm. In a farm, there's no real life. The life that you know is just where you are.
Yeah.
Just
that's
the
it.
farm. That's it. And at the time, the youngsters, black young kids, who could not play with the white kids in the same school.
Yeah.
We went to a school which was dedicated for black kids in the farm. The white kids went into a school dedicated to white kids in town called Komati Port. So, obviously, we didn't understand. We thought it's normal. But my father liked to listen to radio, the hourly bulletin of the news. I think we still have it now. But at that time, it was 5 minutes or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, before it starts, there will be... Then the news comes in.
Yeah.
And your father will say, hey, you must keep quiet. He listens to the news himself. And he thinks he's listening himself. But once he does it 3 times, you are also forced to listen.
Yeah.
You know, you end up
Knowing the news.
Yeah, hearing the news. So because of that, I then grew up a habit of listening to the news, even myself on my own. So during the news, you'll hear about the current president, Ramaphosa, negotiating at Codesa, hearing about Oliver Tambo is coming back to South Africa. You hear about the killing of Chris Hani, and also this issue of race, separation between whites and blacks. Then it rang the bell. Oh, okay, that's why we're not allowed to play with white people in this farm. That's why we can't do this and that. But the fact that majority of the negotiators were lawyers, at that time, I then resolved that, no, I'm also going to be a lawyer.
Okay.
So that I can fight this injustice. Maybe that's the reason why we're locked in a farm. And so that's how I was conscientized, with the hope that one day when I have an opportunity, I will also participate. So that's how I get into politics when I go into high school, participate in SRC, COSAS, and also at the Investor Vendor, SASCO, the Youth League, and so forth. So that's how I participated to shape the future of our country.
And how do you climb the ladder at ANC? Because, like you said, you were Minister of Justice. How does that come about as well?
Yeah, I was, as I've said, I was in the Youth League of the ANC.
Okay.
I was
during Julius's time, more.
Yes, I was deputy to Julius.
Oh wow, for real?
It's for the term when Julius was expelled from the ANC, I was his deputy. So that's how I participated in the Youth League. Then we were disbanded, all of us, that group. But I still remained in the ANC, participated in its structures, and in 2017 I was elected to its National Executive Committee. and then also in 2019 into Parliament, and the president decided in 2019 to appoint me as the Minister of Justice. So that's how it happened. Yeah.
I've always wondered, how do they go about choosing like what minister should do this job and whatever? Because it just seems like sometimes they're just moving you guys around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no real thinking
Like you can
behind
go
it.
from being a Minister of Basic Education to Minister of Defense.
Yeah.
Like, how does that even make sense when Angu goes from schools to army bases?
It's at the sole discretion of the president. It's an executive decision, but obviously he does consider some kind of skill. There is no requirement. There is no kind of guidelines like a position of that. For you to be a chartered accountant, you must be a CA, you must have undergone this and that. But obviously, as a president, he will want to bring someone he believes will be acting in the interest of the country, fit and proper. So that's how he decide and choose. And I think for me, it was on the basis that I was a lawyer. I practiced law for some time. I think he felt that I have the skill to be the Minister of Justice, and I was given the responsibility, having practiced the Constitution. I mean, I belong to a generation that really practiced the Constitution in South Africa, in our courts and all that. So I think that's the decision. And then because of the Department of Justice, you do domestic. I know many people don't know this. We do a lot of domestic work, but there's also a lot of international work because mostly international law is based on human rights, international law, UN, the UN Charter, and so forth. So the Department of Justice plays a key role in advocating for human rights international. So that's why it's in twofold, it's domestic and international. So I think because of that, then the president felt I might also be able to handle the international relations. I think that's what he decided. That's why it led to him deciding on this. I don't know, because he doesn't explain to anyone. He takes the decision, but that's my thinking. But it's like that, as you say. It's like in a soccer match. The coach decides where the players play. Who comes in, who comes out. So the president, you can look at him like a coach. Yeah. Who decide that Mukwevo can come in, Saul can come in. Yeah. No, Saul is playing
defense, goalkeeper.
He's swag today, he must go out.
And sometimes the coach is fucking goal in a position you don't agree, but you keep quite close to the coach. You get that feeling sometimes. You're like,
you can't do anything.
Yeah. You get that feeling sometimes where you like disagree with an appointment. You don't need to say who, but obviously you reserve it to yourself.
I can't. It's above my pay grade. I'm sorry.
So you mentioned earlier that international relations has got to do with humanity, UN, all that stuff. Can you just go deeper? Like, what is your role? What's your objective? What are you meant to do in your current position now?
Yeah, it's to build the relations of South Africa with other international.
Is it financial relations or it's just like
everything?
Everything, okay.
Yeah, everything. Geopolitics, representing the country, the UN, African Union, SADC, building treaties, agreements called, but also to have counter-to-counter relations. So with counter-to-counter relations, you can deal with a number of issues. Human rights, trade also. Although we do have a Department of Trade and Industry, but the Department of International Relations is to go to a country, a platform for the country in any country. It's the first point of call or of entrance. If you speak on London, it is through our ambassador in London. So the person who is in London representing South Africa on behalf of the president or on behalf of the country is appointed by the president as an ambassador. He or she reports to the Department of International Relations. So we coordinate all the ambassadors across the globe. In London, New York, in Cairo, in Addis, in Zambia. So it's not like any parts of the country.
So it's not like you have on your phone numbers of presidents from around the world. You don't have that on your phone, eh?
No, some might do, some might do. It depends on the personal relations. But the ambassador in London, he or she has access to the president of the UK.
Okay.
The ambassador in the US he or she has access to the Department of International Relations in the US and also obviously to the White House. So that's how it works. Even in South Africa, the ambassador of any country, whether it's US in South Africa, has got access to the Department of International Relations. Some of them do have my number, but some come through the department formally. They can also engage through us, the president of South Africa. So that's how, yes.
Yeah. You're saying, Pinduk?
No. I just saw something recently. Maybe I'm jumping. Maybe we're going to get to it. Speaking of ambassadors, I'm noticing that there's a tone with the ambassador, the embassy of Israel locally. They even invited the King Talinjebo and some other delegations to Israel to go see the victims of Hamas or whatever in Israel. Well, what's your take on that, man? Because, it's been very weird how they're moving.
As an ambassador, you don't have to be involved in domestic politics. So that embassy does do such misbehavior, which is undiplomatic, and they've been called to order for such a conduct. And we continue to call them. Calling them to order is a nice way in diplomatic language. They call it a demarche. Yeah, but when we say we've demarched you, it's a nice diplomatic way to say to the public that no, we've called you to order.
Lamuli.
We'll get into Israel Palestine a bit later, right? I wanted to check the G20 just finished, right? What is the G20 and what does it mean for like a normal South African like a Saul, a Kanye, myself? Should we care about the G20?
Sure. It's a huge thing. I mean, in a simple language, maybe I can try. If you are a soccer player, you want to play in the World Cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Artist, is it MTV? What is it? The Grammy. You want to
the Grammys,
to win the Grammys. To win the Grammy. Heavyweight. You want to be a heavyweight champion.
Of
playing
the world.
The best stage. Yeah. So the group of the G20 in more is called the group of 20 countries that arose out of the financial crisis. It commands 85% of the world's GDP.
Okay.
So this is where issues of trade are resolved, issues of financing. So it was aimed to resolve the global financial crisis as it arose at the time, because the world is interconnected. If there's a crisis of finance, global finance in the US, it can collapse the Johannesburg Stock Exchange or the financial system in South Africa. It can also, if there's a crisis in China, it's not just a Chinese crisis. It can also collapse the Japan Stock Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, the London Stock Exchange. So because of that, the countries then came together and said, how do we avert this crisis again from happening? How do we ensure that the global economy grows? How do we respond to issues of climate change, for example, where we are now, the world is really suffering from this thing of climate change. And Africa is the most affected when we less emit or contribute less to climate change. Then we used our platform of the G20 to respond to the challenges that are coming and arising out of the global economy, impacting the African continent. How do you respond to climate change as a continent? And also the global community supporting us, because the industrialization that is huge happening in the US, in China, and all that affect us more with the climate change in South Africa. So they need to contribute in Africa to enable us to respond to this through the financing. We only receive less than 5% of global financing for climate change. So the G20 has to say the world needs to assist the African continent to respond to climate change, but also issues of critical minerals. We are the most enjoyed in the world in terms of critical minerals. 30% of what enables us to speak now, the minerals, and comes from Africa. But there's little processing of such beneficiation in the continent. So the G20 also said, we need to ensure that there's processing in the continent, because we're a youthful population, 2.5 billion population of the continent that will be in 2040. But most of it is youthful, and no any other continent in the world has got a youthful population.
Oh,
the
yes,
African
I saw
continent.
that. Yeah,
so we need to use that, but also AI, artificial intelligence, content. You develop content. When you look at the amount that Apple TikTok and so
YouTube,
forth
yeah.
pays, YouTube pays to the African continent. It's really, as you have said. I won't say you don't have to be politically correct, but it's migrant. When you look at the one they pay in Europe and so forth.
Yeah.
So the international community needs to support the continent with research, with innovation, because content has to come from all those platforms so that we're able to have an equal share with the rest of the world in terms of that. So that also brings the youth of the continent to participate. Don't only come when you're complaining that there's crime, there's a coup and all that, but ensure that this is turned into a positive platform. So the G20 is a huge international platform that respond to that.
Maybe this is a pedestrian or a simple way of looking at it, or a dumb question, but what don't you feel like the system is broken and almost skewed against Africa? Why do we need to ask for permission? It almost sounds like we're asking for permission to process our own things. Why can't we, and why do we need technical support from them and all these expertise when we've got brilliant minds? We've got the best universities that are capable. I mean, we export some of these expertise. Why do we almost need to? Why do we need a G20 to ask them to start processing our own minerals? Why can't we just do it?
Yeah, so
build the factories.
So you are. It's not a dumb question. It's a relevant question. So look at Johannesburg in Africa. South Africa is the most industrialized part of the continent, but you need money to sink a shaft. For example, if you want to sink a shaft, just one gold mine shaft is not less than 5 billion. And for it to then reach a particular level of profit, it's a huge amount of money. So that's why we're not asking for permission. You must be on the table where decisions are taken, where this money must be deployed. It's not a permission to say there is money in the world. Invest it, enable us to do the research, enable us to innovate, enable us to... So it will then enable us to do what we are saying, to process the gold, to ensure that the gold becomes a finished product which we can sell to the world. Or if it's cobalt, like in the DRC, for you to do what you need to do to process cobalt, you need huge amount of money. So it must be processed, it must be invested and be done by the people of the DRC. So that was the discussion. So it's not like we're asking for permission. We were on the table saying this must be done here in the continent, and this is how it should be done with the involvement of the people of the continent.
I feel like somebody who's already doing that is Ibrahim Traore. What are your thoughts on how he's doing things? Because it would seem to us people on the ground, he's moving his country forward, even though it's an unconventional method.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, firstly, the position of the AU is that there must be a democratic government. It must be not a military arrangement. What is happening, I will not want to really dwell into much into it because of, But the reality is that South Africa is the most industrialized part of the continent. There is no country in the continent that even comes closer to what South Africa has achieved. But there won't be a flourishment in a sea of poverty. South Africa has to work with the people of the world, including the African continent. So that's the only thing I can say. And say that we all have to work to build that industrial base with all the countries in the continent. That's far I can say.
It sounds like we don't recognize Ibrahim Traore as the president because he's not democratically elected.
I'm being politically correct.
So we don't recognize him as a leader of Burkina Faso.
The African Union does not recognize any military coup.
Okay, fair
it must be through a democratic process.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, so G20, when it happened, right, a few days before, we saw cops on the highways. We saw people cleaning
flowers on the highway.
Flowers.
Potholes were getting fixed.
Yeah, things were.
Traffic lights in Sandton were a breeze. William Nicol, you could drive now.
Yeah, we're driving.
Bro.
We're living
we felt safe.
Like
Police were around. We felt safe, bro. To walk around and take selfies in Sandton. You can't do that now.
Yeah. Where are those people? Where did you find them? Because it's just like they came out of the blue.
Like the potholes. How did you start seeing the potholes? Like, oh, we got potholes. You know?
I mean,
And now they're gone, by the way. They're gone. They left the G20.
Yeah. The rains came, the potholes are now gaping.
no, the potholes are not back. They're not back. They're gone forever. And the street lights will work forever.
Yeah.
You know, before the elections, we used to get this because I think there was a period of about 30 or 60 days with no load shedding.
Yeah. Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
So, because there's elections tomorrow or in a month. After load shedding, after elections, load shedding will be back.
Yeah.
Well, a year and 3 months now.
Yeah.
There's no load shedding.
Yeah.
So I
Shout
believe,
out,
But electricity is very expensive though.
So it is true. It's expensive, but there's work that we're doing too. And the Minister of Electricity spoke about that. I saw he also came to your show.
Yes.
So also with the city of Johannesburg, I believe they have turned the corner. It's not gonna be easy, but those challenges will always come up and so forth. But they have now turned the corner. And the mayor has said that what he did during the G20 period, they will sustain it. And the premier said they will sustain it. But obviously, you will not see the police everywhere like they did because this was about the event.
Of course.
But they have turned the corner. They will sustain according to what they have said. And I believe them because I sat with them in a lot of meetings prior to the G20. And already we had a plan that even beyond the G20, such meetings need to continue to look into the potholes, to look into the roads, to look into the robots, to look into the crime situation in Gauteng. And it was not only the city of Johannesburg. It was Tshwane, Eguruleni, and all the mayors in Gauteng. So they will continue with that project. And not only this, it's just that you only saw it in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Even in the Eastern Cape, there was the same because they hosted a lot of G20 meetings, side meetings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Gqeberha, in East London, Kruger National Park, Hoedspruit, Northwest Sun City.
Yeah.
So in all these areas, it has had an impact, and the municipalities have now, I believe, they will now work on to ensure that service delivery continues at that rate. It is a challenge, I know. I'm also a resident of the city, so I also experience it. So it is a challenge, but it's work in progress.
When last we were in the CBD? Have you been in the CBD recently?
No, not now.
It's bad.
I was there. I was there just prior to the G20.
It's bad.
A horror show.
Yeah. It's like a different country, bro.
Yeah.
Like even I don't go. Even I'm scared, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to that country. No ways.
But I go to the CBD almost every 2 weeks, so because the ANC NWC sits in the CBD every time, so we do go there from time to time. So I know that we do have real challenges in the city of not only the city of Johannesburg, most of our cities across the country. So, but the municipalities have to ensure that they enforce the bylaws. They also check up their maintenance plans and so forth. But also the private sector, because some of the buildings are not owned by the municipality. They're owned by individuals and so there is work that we need to do to clean it up. I agree.
But it sounds like it's just all talk, because when we had Panyaza
Lusufi,
yes, he was saying the same thing. But when you drive there, you don't see anything get better, man. It just seems to get worse.
I mean, after the G20, I think there is visible progress.
What's the biggest struggle in the CBD? Why is it like that? Like, why? Is it because the buildings are being overtaken and it's, like you're saying, it's privately owned?
Some of them are hijacked. Some are privately owned with no care. But also there is no proper enforcement of the bylaws because some of the things there should not happen.
Because the guy Mandani, the guy who won the New York mayor, he said that if you're a tenant of a building in New York and you don't attend to it or maintain it, then the city is going to take it back from you. and maintain it and run it. So can't we do that as well?
Yeah, that's obvious. That's why the city needs to. That's why I'm speaking about the implementation and the enforcement of bylaws, because most of the things are a violation of the city's bylaws itself. So the city should be able to do it. But it's also one of the reasons why we have the expropriation bill that must enable and empower cities to expropriate abandoned buildings and then do whatever they believe will enable a conducive environment.
Why was Ramaphosa planting trees? Because I remember the last time you were there before G20, Ramaphosa was, and you were all watching him, he was wearing a whole uniform, like planting trees there in town. Why though?
Yeah, so to beautify the city and the environment. You do need the city, the oxygen and all that. So that's, but also to inspire the city itself to do it, and also the private individuals to beautify wherever they stay.
Okay, so USA said they were not coming to the G20, right? And there was a back and forth between our president and that side. Can you just tell us what was going on, like from inside the G20?
Yeah,
what were the discussions regarding USA?
Yeah, no, they've taken a posture and a decision that they won't come. So we marked them that they're absent. They didn't come. And we proceeded with the business of the G20.
Wasn't there a point where they said they were coming though?
But
they wanted to come for the handover.
Yeah.
Where we'll hand over to them the ceremonial handover, the gravel and the other practicalities like the G20 domain website and so forth. Yes, they wanted to come, but we said because they were bringing what is called a charge. Maybe in simple language, it was a junior official.
Got you.
So, and we said no, but this is a head of state level. If you can't bring the head of state, at least the deputy president or a minister or someone of their stature. So, because you are not bringing someone of that stature, we will then arrange that all these things will be done in the DERCO office, and which we have done. We have handed over to them at the office on Monday after the G20. Yeah.
And then are we going next year? Because they said we're not invited.
Yeah, they said we're not invited, but they don't have a right not to invite anyone. It will be a decision of all the member states of the G20.
Yeah.
So they didn't invite us. Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
But we expect that the whole collective is going to discuss the matter. Because we are full members of the G20. We must be there. We must participate. And
also, they can't make that decision by themselves.
No, they can't.
Okay.
It's like the president of FIFA saying Bafana can't come to the World Cup.
Get you, and we
when
qualified.
They've qualified, they've got all the rights to be there.
Yeah.
All the members of FIFA will have to come up and say, no, but this can't happen.
What was it like when you went to the Oval Office to see Donald Trump? How was that like? Like, how does that happen? Like, was it intimidating? Were they already like sus about us? Or like, how did it?
It was not really intimidating, but it was strange because of the ambush with the videos that, with this space, there's a decorum.
Yeah,
that must be maintained. If I come, it's not like when I come to you, I show you ambush me with questions. No. When I come to you in this level, you tell me this is how it's going to work.
Yes.
You will come, we will sit there.
Conversate.
This is what we're going to discuss.
Yeah.
If you have a video, you tell me I'm going to play this video and this is the video.
Yeah, we will have that video. Don't worry. It was just that one.
It was another ambush. It was another ambush. but so we were surprised.
They didn't tell you?
No, we were just surprised of this video, which was all lies based on fake news. Yeah. So it was strange because in your mind you say, but can this really happen in the most advanced democracy in the world? The most respected
office
of the White House. I mean, it's the pinnacle of any
Was it your first time at the White House?
Yes, it was.
Wow, how is it? It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's a nice place. And it's a good experience, a humbling one, but it was strange because of the videos and all those
Why
things.
was Johann Rupert there? And
the golfers, Ernie Els and
you'll remember the president did mention that President Trump requested that we must come with him because they are his friends. Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Yeah, he wanted us to come with them. They're his friends.
Because to us, it seemed like he wanted to see the real president. Rupert was the real
Yeah,
president.
you know that you guys didn't want to do the handover to juniors. He also wanted to speak to head of state. Not to juniors.
No. He's not the head of state. It's his friend. It's like me when I'm coming to visit you and you say, no, please come with my two friends.
Yes.
That's it.
How did you guys feel about that?
Yeah,
like, didn't you? Because from us, it seemed like you guys were undermined. And pretty much you were.
No, we had no problem with coming with his friends because, you are going to talk about an issue affecting Afrikaners. And the friends, he says, come with Afrikaners. And they are South Africans, patriotic. So we didn't see it as a problem. We thought it's fine.
But clearly it didn't
he's the
help
host.
because he still thinks there's bad things happening. Bad things.
Yeah, he still insists.
Yeah.
He still insists, eh?
It's on the basis of his own ideological beliefs.
Yeah.
I believe he knows the truth.
Yes. Everybody knows the truth.
That's such a thing. There's no such a thing as genocide in South Africa. But he believes in a particular ideology, a white supremacist ideology, that South Africa is an antithesis of what the US now under his administration is. You will know that they have removed the affirmative action, empowerment of blacks, all these issues. And South Africa here is a country run majority by black people, and it's a democracy thriving. It's is one of the best democracies in the world. It's not normal that the ANC reduced by to 40%.
Yeah.
We didn't get usually the 50 or above, but we respected the outcomes as patriotic, as true democracy.
Yeah.
In another country, it would not have been something else.
Yeah.
But so it's clear that the issue is that it's a government majority run by black people. He has a problem with that.
We had a belief when we were talking in one of the episodes, right? Because obviously Elon Musk spent a lot of money to get Donald Trump into the presidency, right? And then Elon Musk wanted Starlink in South Africa. And then we said, no, we need a BEE partner. So we felt like Elon Musk was mad at that. So he told Donald Trump all these lies, fed them all these lies so that you guys can give him Starlink.
Yeah, that's also a possibility because, as you are aware, Musk, before we went to the White House, he used to tweet about such things. Some of those videos that were played there, they were in his tweet and feed and all that. Yeah, it's possible. But we never had a problem with Elon Musk investing in South Africa. We still don't have a problem with him investing in our country. We need technology. Yeah, there's more than 600 companies from the US. Your Amazon, your Google, your Apple,
IBM,
all
Microsoft,
of them. They are here.
They
participate and they have something called BEE equivalent.
Yeah.
We said invest, but you have to comply with our laws. So he has to comply with the law. If there is any challenge with that issue, we were even prepared to say, how do we help you to still invest? Yeah. But you need to know that you still have to comply. We have got a domestic transformatory imperative in the Constitution to empower black South Africans to participate in the mainstream of the economy. As to how we can assist you, we remain open to enable that environment. And all these other companies, Google and so forth, they've got no problem with our BEE laws. So they challenge, I think, with the telecommunication sector is that it does not have this component of BEE equivalent. So that's why there was a discussion, how do we enable the Starlink to still, and we still don't have any problem with Starlink's participation. We are just saying it must be done. So he, maybe as you have said, that's why it came through the way it came, through his fees and so forth, which is a clear lie. And he knows himself that is false. There's no such a thing as genocide in South Africa of white South Africans. Crime affects us all, as you have said. You are scared now to go to the city of Johannesburg because of crime. It's not because you are white.
No,
You won't be targeted on the basis of your race if you go to the city of Johannesburg or wherever there is crime. It is crime.
And what I didn't understand about that is that they're having the same thing with TikTok. because they said they were going to ban TikTok in America because it's not it's owned by the Chinese, right? And they wanted an American to buy it, and then TikTok will operate in America. Until then, they were going to ban it, which is pretty much the same thing.
It's similar. Yeah, you're right. It's just exactly the same thing. So, it's a bit different with them. Because even when they ended up taking it, it was on the basis of localization of some sort.
Yeah.
The reasons are different. With us, we've got a real history of exclusion of black people.
Yeah.
And that's why the policies are responding to that. So there is a clear justification in the basis. And this was also done in the US and so forth. So that is their challenge with us.
And then what do you think about us opening a case for them regarding the Israel-Palestine thing? Do you think that had a factor with the tensions that we have with the US now?
ICJ, yes, it does. It does.
And you went there, was he's the one who opened the case.
Yeah, it's obvious. What's like we're hearing things that ANC received money from Iran and it was Iran's play. We were just like a pawn, in the Middle East war that's happening there. We were just a pawn, and of course we've got a relevant history with apartheid, etc. So we seem like we've got the right motivation. But word is, we got money from Iran to take Israel to ICJ.
No, it's nonsense. I mean, it's nonsense. The money that we have paid is accounted for in our books. Even in Parliament, it's open, it's transparent. Our money is audited by the AG. It's public information that we paid on our own. And I mean, the Iran issue is just a smokescreen to find reasons. And it's nonsense. It's a lie. It's not there at all. I mean, even when you speak about Iran under apartheid and so forth, under apartheid, Iran had relations with the apartheid government, not with the ANC.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of our facilities, some of them, so it's just nonsensical. But we went there on the basis of a principle that we understand apartheid. We if there is any country in the world, it's us. And what is currently happening in Gaza is clear apartheid. And this has been confirmed by the courts itself, not in the South Africa case. Recently, again, in a case that was aimed to declare that process of Israel as unlawful. So we have been vindicated even outside our case. So we had a duty as global citizens to go to the court on that basis that we cannot allow apartheid to continue when we see it and we understand. And it's worse with the genocide that is happening on your fingertips. You can see it in your phone. It's not like in the past, with the previous genocides where you will hear from reports. And
the press
now you see
is
it.
controlled,
Yeah.
Now, last question from me on this. When, clearly, this thing is hurting us. AGOA is gone now. Some businesses are getting hurt. Livelihoods are getting hurt because America decided, to point its big gun at us. And funding has been taken away. You saw that. I didn't even know with a trans clinic. Right, there's a trans clinic in Joburg that is closed down. So aid is getting taken away. So clearly, real lives are getting affected. Now, in hindsight, looking at all this damage that is being caused to innocent people, South Africans, was it worth it taking Israel to court? Is it worth the what do they call it? Collateral damage. Is it worth the collateral damage?
You cannot buy principle and human life, because who is next after Palestine? We had our freedom because the people of the world stood for us. So if it's happening in Palestine and you say, no, it's not me, you keep quiet. When it comes to you, no one will stand for you. And we are products of international solidarity. But also on this issue of trade and so forth, it's not only happening to South Africa. The U.S. government is has got challenges of trade with many countries of the world. It's not only South Africa. It's not only us. including this issue of health aid and so forth. It's not just South Africa; it's the whole of the sub-Saharan Africa. But we have been a bit fortunate because we still fund almost 80% of our HIV and AIDS program. When it started, the US had a role, but we gradually, it was incremental.
Took over.
So 80% of our AIDS funding come from the South African government, from the fiscus, from the people of South Africa.
Great.
And it has happened, it has impacted us, yes. We need to find alternatives, but it's not like we are an aid-dependent nation. We are self-sufficient. We need to build on it.
The 15 Palestinians that landed recently, who authorizes that they can stay in the country? And are they vetted? What if some of them are rapists or
130
criminals?
of them.
Or is it 130?
Yeah, wait. No, not 15. 150, but 20 or 15 of them then left to another country.
Oh, okay.
130 something stayed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, they exploited a loophole because of the situation in Palestine. We have got a visa-free regime with Palestine.
Okay.
So they then exploited that loophole, obviously through some players that we suspect involved, some those that are linked to the Israel regime. To say, because there's a visa-free arrangement, we can take these people to South Africa. And obviously the plane is a South African plane, if you remember. It's a South African company.
Yeah.
They have got the landing rights and everything. And the people in the flight have got a visa-free regime, so they land. But with such things, when you want to bring people in mass like that, there must be agreements between the two governments and so forth. So there was no such an agreement. They just exploited that existing loophole.
So who makes the call?
That's why we made the call.
Is it you or is the president?
It's the Minister of Home Affairs.
Oh, Minister of Home Affairs.
But we supported him because it was clear that now we have to act on humanitarian grounds. As you will remember, the plane was there for more than 12 hours. They're beginning to have challenges. Where was the plane going to fly to and all that? So we ended up agreeing as government that let's make a humanitarian intervention and process them through our immigration regime. Yeah. And those that are going to leave will leave. And those that want to follow our laws, they will follow our laws. So that's what happened.
So we vetted them?
Yes, all of them.
Okay.
And then what was the role of gift of the givers? Because I feel like government could have made the call to take a humanitarian approach without gift of the givers. Because we heard that they got involved and then all of a sudden the wheels started turning.
Yeah, remember, as government, where were we going to take them to? If we just make a call and say, okay, it's fine, they can stay in South Africa. We allow them. Then they come into OR Tambo. What's next? What happens?
We've allowed many asylum seekers. As many Zimbabweans have been here, on asylum.
Yeah, but they didn't arrive they didn't arrive in that huge 180 number at once, at a go. So before you allow them, you need to say, where are they going from here? So that's how Gift of the Givers came into the space, to say, we will accommodate them. We will offer them food. We will, while they are processing their things with government.
Okay. So let's close this USA thing, man. Where are we now? Is there still tension? Can we sort out our differences? Where are we at now with USA currently, as it stands?
South African government remains very open to work with the US. As I've said, we have got 600 companies of the US invested in our economy, in the various sectors of our economy. So they've got an impact in the South African economy. We see the US as a strategic partner. And we remain open to engage with them. What we will not do is for the US to want to us to enter into our domestic laws and politics, and we have got no problem to engage with them to find solutions, which we were open to, and we remain. Even on some of these issues, we can engage and say, but maybe you can handle it this way. It's fine. It will be our decision on BEE, on expropriation, the crime issue, what they call white genocide, which doesn't exist. But we do need support I mean, to fight crime in this day and age, you do need technology. The US has the technology that can support our work to fight crime and all that. So we remain open, but the ball is in their court.
What's your take? Because lately I've been reading stories of what's Jacob Zuma's daughter?
Duduzane Sambuka Zuma.
Yeah,
Duduzile.
Duduzane is the other term.
Yeah, Duduzile. And then that SAFM presenter, where now our brothers are being recruited to fight in the Russia-Ukraine war. Yeah. What's your take on that?
Yeah, obviously, even on that is the same. It's against our laws, the South African Mercenary Act, for someone from South Africa to go out to fight in a war that is not. There's no agreement between the South African government and that government that we will send South Africa. So it's a crime what has happened, and we condemn it. It should not happen, and it should not have happened. But now that it has happened, and a case has been opened, the law must take its course.
Yeah.
Speaking on that, there's been many instances recently where South Africans find themselves scammed abroad. And people seem to be of the belief that if I'm abroad and maybe I'm scammed or I'm destitute, maybe I'm broke now or I'm homeless, can I just walk to an embassy and you guys book me a flight back home? How does it really work when I'm stranded abroad? Because we've been having many of those and people write to us.
Yeah, no, that's true. And thanks for that question. Firstly, we encourage South Africans when they go anywhere abroad to notify the embassy. That's the first thing. But when there are challenges, the South African embassy in whatever country, we don't have a budget to fly South Africans back because you can imagine how much we're gonna spend. Every day someone will be stranded somewhere.
I'll book a one-way ticket, Baba. One-way ticket to Vegas. Blow all my savings. Blow everything. And save a bit to get to New York. Where's the embassy? Washington. Yeah, save a bit to get to Washington with my luggage. Hangovers full. A scale sign for 4. For 4 seconds.
Yeah, but we still do encourage them, even when they are stranded, to still report to the embassy so that we can then find their relatives or offer them consulate services, because sometimes they will still need it. Maybe a passport is lost and all. So we still assist with that consulate service, but not with the budget of the person to then fly. And we don't have such an amount.
You heard it, guys, then.
Bro Ronald. I gotta call you Bro Ronald when I ask him this question.
Yeah.
You're a minister, bro. So when you switch on the TV and you're watching this commission, the Madlanga commission, what's the other one?
Oh, the ad hoc in Parliament, the parliamentary.
What do you think? What's going through your mind? Like, when all of this stuff is coming out, I mean, Ghost Lady was just telling me now, Witness D just got assassinated.
Yeah, bro.
It's like a movie,
Right after
bro.
this testimonial.
Yeah, no, that's should be condemned, particularly the assassination of Witness D. It should not happen in any society. It does concern me and us, what obviously come out of the commissions, which shows what is happening behind the scenes that South Africans and we may not have known. But I also find comfort in the fact that we have enabled these commissions to be there, so that, and they are transparent, they are open, so all South Africans can see. We can, all of us, find systematic solutions. And that's why we'll await the recommendations to take forward some of those systematic recommendations. But obviously, where criminality has happened, the police and the law must take its course.
And what do you think, man? Are you like privy to this? Obviously you've been at ANC for a long time. So it's the stuff that you guys like know behind the scenes that's happening, but we don't know. Or when you watch on TV, are you finding out as we do, same time, in real time?
Yeah, I mean, obviously some of them I will find out on TV in real time. Like the testimonies of the generals, and I will not know some of those things. So you will know some of them if it's a policy issue, because we're in the ANC or in government, we will discuss a policy issue and make a decision. But then there are implementers, which is then, in this case, it will be the South African police, it will be the metros. So those are now implementing. And in the course of implementation, I think that is what then it's happening, and that is what is coming out of the commission.
Yeah, it's crazy.
As somebody who's been in government, especially in the as a minister in the Justice Department, when Mkhwanazi took the stand in, was it July? Was that the first
July the 6th, yeah.
July the 6th. Was that the first time you heard about an infiltration by criminals of some parts of the justice system or the policing service, and to a level, some parts of politicians? Was it the first time you heard of it, or had you always seen, red flags on some parts of it or heard about it?
No, it's not the first time. I served in the political, what is that? The political
Task team.
Yeah, the political
Yeah,
task
yeah,
team.
yeah.
So it's not the first time.
What was it?
So, and it is for that reason why we have made such interventions to respond to the issues of the political killings, including the issues of taxi violence in Gauteng. You'll remember there was a commission of inquiry. So it's not the first time that I've heard about it. So that's why we were making the interventions to respond to these issues. It's just that obviously now with the commission, it is becoming more in the public domain. But
So did you ever engage with Vusi Kat Matlala? Like, have you ever met him?
no, I don't know if I don't know him. But we meet a lot of people,
That's
in
true,
rallies.
yeah.
So
you don't
it's
remember
possible
all
that I met
faces.
him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that he's not my acquaintance or friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
He's
it's
never
possible
given
we
you
might
a
have met
Woolworth,
somewhere. I don't know. I've
No
never,
Woolies
I
bag.
don't know.
He's never
him.
given
No.
you Woolies bag.
No, I don't know.
As a minister of justice, I mean, that's literally, within the interest of criminals if they could capture you. Have you ever had any attempts?
Yeah.
You don't need to tell us names of someone saying, listen, man, I could make your life a whole lot softer. If only, like, or somebody here, or a good Samaritan here to give with gifts and goodies and bags.
No, I've never had that happening.
No one has ever said, you've got my holiday home in Zimbabwe whenever you need it.
No, I mean the way you are putting it, the criminals and so. No, I've not had.
Is South Africa a mafia state?
No, I don't think so. Because we still have institutions that can respond and can withstand this. You will remember even with the period of Jacob Zuma, we ended up with the Zondo Commission, him being removed. We also now with all these processes of Madlanga and so forth. In a mafia state, such won't happen.
Okay.
There will never be a commission of inquiry. The president will not even reach that stage of appointing of a commission of inquiry because the mafias control the president of that country. So we still have a semblance of a state, I believe. The only thing is that we need to build its capability to respond to this. These institutions that we have, the police, the commissions and so forth, so that they are able to act. And that's the issue we're speaking about earlier on of the city of Johannesburg. And not only the city of Johannesburg, most of our big cities, Durban, Gqeberha, East London, Mbombela, Polokwane, and so forth, have the same challenge. It might not be at the scale of Johannesburg, but they have the same challenge. So the issue is the enforcement,
I get you.
how we assist and support. So I think that if we can be able to support that process, we can be able to arrest the situation. We have not yet reached a stage of a full-blown mafia state, in my view, in my assessment.
And according to you, what is the purpose of this commission? Is it just for us Africans to know what's happening, or do you think people are actually going to go to jail at the end of this?
Yeah, a commission has got two aspects. It's not just for jail.
Okay.
Those that must go to jail, yes, they must. The law must take its course. But it also has an aspect of systematic recommendations to change the laws. This is the loophole they have exploited. We must change it. For example, what I was telling you about the Palestinian, that we have got a visa-free regime.
Yes, the loophole.
So they've exploited that loophole. So the commissions, when they sit, they also look into that. These are the issues. Go and correct this law. Go and correct. And that also came out of the Zondo Commission. The number of laws that we had to change after the Zondo Commission. And we have already amended a lot of them and so forth. So the commission, yes, criminality, it must recommend to the law enforcement to deal with it, but also it support systematic so that you have got a sustainable democracy and society.
Yeah, man. Yo, but the commission is crazy.
Wow, bro, the things we're hearing and
it's
the people,
like days of our lives,
bro,
man.
and you
It's
see
like
the quality or lack of the people who are in charge of, you know, like who are in government, who are in charge, who are higher ups in policing, and you're like, is this the best South Africa has to offer?
Can the minister just reassure us that he'll never be implicated in these?
he's not going to say that. Even if he is, he's not going to say that. You want Lamola Commission to start on Monday?
No, but the minister knows that he walks in the right path. You know, he knows. You can say that. I can say I could never be. I'll never, ever, ever be in court for, you know, hitting someone or rape or, you know. I know myself.
How is it in government now, or like within the ANC, the corrupt guys, right? Are they shaking, seeing what's happening with the commission and stuff? Are they like scared also that they could be next? You know?
Yeah, no. I will not know that, but obviously the ANC has been very clear that anyone, a member of the ANC or not, who is involved in any criminality, the law must take its course. Even if it's a DA, CFF, is whoever, the law must take its course if there is criminality. Yes.
Bro, one thing I don't understand with these guys is, you know, these guys that get these tenders and whatnot, and our money goes to Lamborghinis and not one, but three.
And yeah, bro.
Why don't they just do the work? I don't understand. Like, if you get
Maybe
paid
you
a
must,
tender...
Maybe you must invite them. They must come and see.
I don't get it. It's so simple, though.
Yeah,
If you
it's
do the work,
simple,
if you
bro.
do- no, remember, if you do the work, that's in an ideal world. You do the work and the profits are yours. But in a broken system, if you do the work, you're left with nothing because you have to pay the brown envelope to this guy, to that guy, to that guy, and that guy who could get you the tender. That's why.
I also think
there's no money left.
they need to do the work.
Just do the work, bro.
But how are you going to pay the bribes?
Huh?
How are you going to pay bribes?
No, remember,
How are you going to pay 20 million to the minister or whoever?
the primary task is to do the job. So that's what you should
100%.
do.
I think South Africans would be more lenient to the government or these corrupt officials if they actually did the job.
Yeah.
Like Tembisa Hospital, if they used that money for that hospital, I don't think people would mind that, okay, MacG stole X amount, but the job has been done.
Yeah.
It's the fact that money's been stolen and there's nothing to show for it.
At all.
Except
Not even like, no, they
Lamborghinis,
used a cheaper supplier.
Yeah.
Or they used cheaper materials. No, nothing at all. Zero. Nothing at all.
I agree that the job must be done.
How does this tender thing work? Like, who decides that Tembisa Hospital must get 840 million or whatever that guy was meant to get?
Yeah, the tendering process is in the law. It's in the PFMA. So there are committees in government where officials will sit and evaluate, advertise, evaluate who they believe can do that particular job. So it must be, in terms of our constitution, it must be transparent and fair and all that.
What's your opinion on our defense budget always shrinking? And now we've got a Mickey Mouse of a military or of a defense force. I remember one of the admirals made a speech a few weeks ago. What's his name? Oh, I forgot him now. And he was saying that, you know, we have a Mickey Mouse of a defense, South African national defense, because the budget keeps getting cut, and thereby the sea, it's a free-for-all. Drug trade, criminals, people are coming in and out. There's drug shipments because they just don't have the capacity. Even Mkonazi was saying at the bay in Durban that, or somewhere along the coast of KZN, they have one scan, or that works for all containers coming into the country. So it looks like budgets are being cut and criminality is thriving as a result.
Yeah, I think you need to look at it from the context of our economy. For some time, our economy has not been performing, and as a result, the fiscus has shrinked. That has been a challenge, and it's not just for the defense. In all government departments, even ourselves at international relations, the budget has been cut. So it is a challenge, we agree, but you will have seen now that there are now green shoots in the economy. And it also, because of some years of state capture, ESCOM, we had challenges, load shedding, the locomotive, logistics, Transnet. But now the economy has been growing consistently in the last 3 quarters of this year. So the budget, I believe, now we will be able to gradually claw back not for the defense, which I believe is a priority. It has to be done.
Big priority, man. That's our
not,
sovereignty.
But not only the defense. I mean, all other departments that should be priority: health, education, and so. And so even ourselves at DERCO. So there is a change in the economy, which I do think that will enable, and it's a change in the positive direction. Our economy is growing. I mean, in the last quarter, 200,000 jobs were created. It looks small in a country with huge youth unemployment, but at least it does tell us that we might have now fully turned the corner.
I wanted to ask you, I don't know if this is true or not, but is it true that you found out about the Thabo Bester case from this podcast?
I can't remember.
It's true.
And I think yours.
Gabriel is true, right?
I think I found it.
Did you know before?
I think I found it.
Oh, you knew before?
I think it was within the department, if I remember.
okay.
Yeah, I think.
Someone told me, I was like, no
No, but
way.
he was a minister of justice. There's no way,
I think it was
and
from
correctional
within,
services.
I think it was from within the department.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
What's going on with those cases? You know, the Thabo Bester's case, the Senzo Meyiwa cases, where they just keep on going and there's no resolution. Like, it seems like there's someone who's making sure that they don't get closed, you know?
I know the
Or have people someone higher up, you know?
The Thabo Bester one is ongoing. I think it's in the early stages. The Senzo Meyiwa one, I think, is almost towards conclusion. I can't remember, but I think I've not followed fully. But I've watched, I think, a week or two ago. It was almost towards the end. So it's almost going towards a judgment by the judge, I think.
Yeah,
if I remember well.
But it's very strange because they just keep on going for years. And
Forever,
years and
man. I've
years.
lost interest.
Yeah, it does happen in a constitutional democracy that, and it's not only in South Africa, across the globe, that sometimes and it's not only because of the criminal justice system itself. Sometimes it's also because of those that are being tried. I mean, they've got all manner of excuses. The lawyer is sick, he himself is sick, the case is postponed, and so there's a number of factors, but there is also factors that comes from within the system itself.
Yeah.
And I think that is what we need to resolve in the systematic way. And that's why when I left justice, there was a process to overhaul the Criminal Procedure Act.
Yeah.
And I think the current minister is still working on it. Soon she will announce how we are going to overhaul it and how it will support these issues. Not only that, issues bail and that impact the whole justice system.
But Ronald, any aspirations to become president one day?
I hope so. One day, yeah.
One day,
But one day is not today or tomorrow. I think at some point.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So you're going to run in 2027. That's when the ANC's
No, I
Presidential
can't.
conference,
It's not politically correct to answer that.
You'll never. They always say, my name is available, but it needs to be called. You know the answer to that, bro. You know the answer.
No, but I think you should run, man. We need some young blood, man.
Yeah, we do need some young blood.
These guys are getting old, man.
And how is it, man, being in a meeting with these guys who are 70 and you... Who are 70, some are uneducated. You come there with law degrees, with all these degrees. You've just turned 40. You're fresh, you're young. They sleep, they can't stay awake. How is it, man? How is it being in a room with these guys and you're meant to take national decisions with these people? Be really honest, man.
Colleagues.
Be really honest. They're your colleagues, I know. And your elders, but
I'm going to be honest.
we need to get work done.
I'll be honest. It's very dynamic.
That's a diplomatic answer.
It's
But it's the right answer.
No. It's very dynamic in that, and I can give you an example with the COVID period.
Yeah.
With the COVID period, it was the most scariest thing.
Yeah.
We didn't know what's going to happen.
Sure.
Yeah, we're told that we're just going to die, all of us. We need to act quickly, and resolve this thing because it's coming.
Yeah.
When it was still happening in China and all that. So we were called to cabinet to say, we have got two options. It's either we declare a state of emergency or a state of national disaster. This thing is real. People are dying already. So most of us, the young ones, say, no, we must just declare state of emergency. There must be soldiers everywhere. But the senior ones say, no, it's true. There's a challenge, but maybe we need to consider looking at declaring it a state of disaster, because this is not a security threat. It's a health issue. It needs community mobilization. We need to consult. It was debated for a long time. And at the end, we concluded that no, the law of declaring it a state of disaster is the best way to go around it. But you then see the dynamism of the young and the old. That the old, they have got that patience, the wisdom that will balance with the energy of the young ones.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm saying it's dynamic. So what I agree with is that we do need the majority of young ones, but you do need a few experienced elders to also say, but maybe you can look at this thing in this way. So I think we need to find a good balance and mixture, which I think we are now beginning to have.
Ronald, thank you so much for your time, man. Ghost Lady, last question.
Okay. I wanted to ask regarding, because you're from Mpumalanga, and there's a
Bushbuck Ridge.
huge, Bushbuck Ridge. I'm married. My husband is also from Bushbuck Ridge, so I've
So you know
frequented.
Bush,
Yes.
And you, like Mukwewa, you can eat mangoes there.
You sit there actually the whole day
No,
and
that's
eat
great.
mangoes.
That's great.
Yeah. So there's a huge water crisis there. Is there anything in the future where there'll be a guarantee that there'll be water 24/7? Because that side, you find that every household has to have a JoJo tank, because just to preserve water, because there'll be a time period every day where there's no water. And it's become a norm over the years. It's been long. So is there a future where there's a guarantee Mpumalanga will get water every day? Like just
But
full
he said
on
there's
running
water by his village, or is it just your village?
No, there is.
No, but I'm sure depending on it, or it's your backup is your a JoJo tank.
There is water. Yes. There is a JoJo tank. Yeah, right. She's right. Yeah, there is water. There is pipe water, but it's not consistent. Yeah, in Bushbuck Ridge.
Never. And a lot of areas in Mpumalanga as well.
Yeah, and some
Going to
areas like
Nelspruit.
Nkomazi,
Yes.
Nkomazi, and some parts of Albert Lutul. Albert Lutul is Caroline, Mayflower, and so forth. So indeed, there is that challenge. And there has been work that has been done over the years. And it has not really achieved what she says of consistent flow of water, which is a challenge, but there is work that is still ongoing to respond to that. But as she says, the patience is thin now from the communities, because if you know Bushbuck Ridge, there's a dam there called Nyaka Dam, very big, almost like Nandoni, where we've got the same challenge with Guyani, with the Guyani communities, but almost resolving it. So it's almost a similar challenge with Bushbuck Ridge, with the reticulation of the area. But I know the municipality and the relevant water authority are working on it, and I hope that the solution of consistent water supply will be there. There is work happening.
Penduga?
Yeah, I got two questions, man. One, going back to the White House, how well do you know, like, Johann Rupert personally? Because the way he was tapping you and saying, you see this one? You see this one? He used to be radical. Now he's a good boy now. Now he's a good boy now. He's radicalized. I was like, damn, did you even patchy hair? I'm like, the man must really know you very well.
I met him maybe it was 15 years ago, so I can't remember, when we were still in the youth league. That was the last time I saw him. And then the next time I met him was when we went to the White House. So I know him, but not like an acquaintance.
He had no right to say that.
I mean, it's his choice of words, but it's not like he, as you say, he has a right. But I mean, I had no problem with it, because at the time, I think he was trying to convey a point that South Africans, even black ones, are living well with white South Africans.
Yeah,
we do have a challenge of crime, all of us.
Affects everyone.
And it also affects him. And that's why he even went to Steenhuisen, that even in the Western Cape, there's a big problem where the DA is leading and so forth.
Rupert was cooking John,
So
bruh.
it was
Yeah, they cooked John.
Yeah.
Fam. Yo.
so it
I think he
was
saw his credit card statements. Then R&B. I think he owns R&B. Had to cook him. Can't even manage his fucking credit card.
it was just an open conversation.
Yeah. Nah, cool, man. Then my last question is, man, you're very educated, which is beautiful to see someone, as a minister, and you've got a law degree, and you said you've practiced the law and the constitution. Now, we know we've got the best constitution in the world, but as we've said earlier on, in the conversation, many a times it's exploited and people find loopholes in it. As an educated scholar of the law, where do you think our constitution needs amendment?
Yeah, and you're right that unfortunately, because of resources, now the constitution is used by those who oppose it or who never believed in any democratic process to stifle transformation in South Africa and all that. I think where we have to amend, and is the right question at the right time. We've now been in a democratic society for 29 years. Next year is 30 years of the constitution. So we know what works and what doesn't work. So when I was still a justice, and that's what I referred to, there's a process to amend, to repeal, overhaul the Criminal Procedure Act. And there is also a process to review the constitution. I do think that we need to strengthen it to enable the state to function, to respond in a firm manner on issues of crime. Secondly, to enable further clarity on issues of transformation in our country, because this is what is holding South Africa back. When you have the majority of the population excluded from the mainstream of the economy, it impacts the economy not to grow at the level that we may want it to grow when you have got majority not participating. So I think those are the aspects that we may need to look into, and it's a process.
South Africa belongs to all those who live in it. You agree?
Yes, fully.
I wanted to ask you, I don't know if it's a...
please say it's a freedom chat. You want to be politically correct because I understand you're a podcast.
Yeah, my job is to ask the questions, man, Ask questions. That's it. That's it. Yeah,
but you don't have to feel guilty. The Freedom Chat was adopted by all South Africans.
Yeah.
The ANC just made it its program. So it's not really, so you're not,
So I hope you can follow me with this question, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's lack of marketing or maybe I'm not looking in the right places to get this information, right? But whenever you see government or ANC, right, you always see the bad stuff, like, what's happening now with the commission, the corruption, the corrupt ministers, our president's got money in his couch, and all these things that are just bad. What is it that you guys are doing good, but people might not know? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, I mean, for example, you grew up in a village where there was no water. You're now a minister, there's still no water there, Stuff like that gets highlighted very much. But the good stuff that you guys are doing, like, I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, you're right. It's the issue of the public narrative. Who owns it? And I think for me, it was highlighted recently, very well aptly, when Mr. Endhoven wrote an article about the economy that has turned the corner. The green shoots, the network industries, no load shedding, and Transnet now performing the 200,000 jobs and all that, the consistent growth in the economy. We have been saying that ourselves, but it didn't receive that level of shaping a public narrative. But when it was said by him, it has received that level, which is a good thing. But it's clear that there's a trust deficit, but there's also a deliberate public space that ignore what the ANC has done or the government is doing, so that because it doesn't suit their narrative. And this is also aptly described by Mackenzie sometimes. He says, you guys of the ANC, you don't really brag about what you have done. And these things, they don't get out there. But I still appreciate, the manner in which the South African media shaped the public narrative on this thing of genocide, I think they were very clear that there's no such a thing. From when, before the White House and beyond, which
everyone was clear.
The G20, how it was covered, you could see that this is South Africa Inc. Everyone promoting the national interest. Obviously, there were challenges, there were problems, and they were not ignored. They were still reported. So I do think that that's where we do need to find solutions between ourselves, society, the media, and the opinion makers to shape it in the national interest. And you are right. In other countries, I have been to, and I will not mention the names. Like in Europe, you really get surprised that there is this level of crime. Some of the most advanced.
You see how it's a war zone now.
I say, what's happening? How come there is so much crime and we don't know? You're in a hotel. You wake up, they've stolen everything. It will not be. It will not be in the news. It will not be published.
They don't
or
post
anywhere.
It.
They say no. In fact, it does not. And it's not that the news don't publish it. It's not. If it was in South Africa, this happened to you, a minister. This thing will be headlines. It will be discussed the whole week. You know. And they say no. Even in some of these countries, South Africa is amongst the few countries in the world where you have crime statistics. I say, how? Yes. You guys, you call the world and tell them, hey, you were bad. This is what we do. You know? So that's how they say to me. I say, I didn't realize that. So we
air out our dirty laundry.
I think because of where we come from, we are now more of a very transparent society. And we should not take it for granted. And this transparency, I think, is good, but we need to use it in the national interest. Yes, that's the only thing.
So tell me, what have you guys done so far? You were telling me about Transnet is not working. You said Transnet. You said 200,000 jobs.
Transnet, yes. The locomotive. There was a time where Transnet, even in the port of entry, the level of load was very low. It has gone back now to almost pre-COVID-19 period. The economy is back to COVID-19 levels. So that's a huge recovery. It has gone now in the 3 consecutive quarters at about 0.7 or to 1%, which means that also it's reflected on the number of jobs that were created in 200,000 jobs. It's huge. I know that we've got a huge challenge of unemployment, particularly amongst young people. But when you begin to see a dent, it does tell you that we have turned the corner, including the issue of ESCOM, no load shedding, because for the economy to function, industries, when you say people must come and invest, they say, but how are we going to invest? You don't have electricity. So now with electricity, it means that industries can now invest, but also have enabled them to generate their own electricity. I think it's about 5 megawatts or so. So we have done reforms that enables the economy to function.
What's happening with the smart city then, Lanseria? Where's that at? Remember we were meant to have a smart city.
Yeah, I think there is work happening. I just don't know exactly because it's not my space. I'm not very full up.
Okay,
but there is work happening in Lanseria. I think there was some sweat turning at some point. I just cannot remember exactly when, but there is work that is happening.
Ronald Lamola, you well-traveled, man. You travel like every second day. I'm sure even now you're going somewhere.
No. I don't know. I want to go anywhere. I want to be here now until next year.
Yeah, but you travel the world a lot, right?
Yeah.
How beautiful is this country, man?
It's the most beautiful country in the world. In the world.
Bro.
Yeah, in the world. I mean, I'm saying so, having been to Paris, having been to Rome, having been to Bali, having been to...
you name it.
Yeah, you name it. This is... And also, in those countries, they tell us when we arrive, they say, you guys, you don't know what you have there. The G20 visitors, they were in awe. Everyone said, this is the most beautiful country I have ever been. But they said, your wine is one of the best. But they say, no, not just the wine. They say, you're biltong. There's this meat, man. This meat. This meat. What is it? So I was surprised. This meat, they say biltong. They love our biltong.
Yeah.
So,
Let's give them the racist one. That's the best.
Yeah.
So them having been to Cape Town, Table Mountain, to the Kruger National Park,
amazing. Yes.
To KZN, Hluhluwe areas, Sun City, Pilansberg, all of them, because we deliberately made them most of the meetings, we spread them across the country. All of them, the feedback has been amazing.
Yeah.
This is the most beautiful country, which we take for granted.
It is.
I think the world knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Thabo Bester is obviously bidding to get your phone records. This came out yesterday.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So you're aware of that?
Yeah, I'm aware. I saw the headline.
Why does he want your phone
records?
records?
On the news.
Yeah, why does he want your phone records?
I've got no idea, but
Let's call him then.
I will be able to. I will be able to read the affidavit. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to read his affidavit like the one of Mr. Mkwela. but once I will go through it. But for me, I don't see anything that he will need from my phone, because when we brought him back to South Africa, it was a decision of the Tanzanian government on the basis of relations that we South Africa, correctional service, if I remember, or there could be other aspect of extradition or something. But to the best of my collection, and speaking under correction, I think it was a correctional service to correctional service arrangement. Because if you remember, Thabo was already an inmate.
Arrested.
Yes.
So it's different with Miss Magudumana. So Miss Magudumana, it was an extradition or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So him is different because his correctional service is
Yes.
So I don't know what he will be looking for in my phone records, whatever. But once we see the affidavit, we will respond accordingly. And it was correct that he must be brought back to continue to serve here in South Africa.
Because he's in government's custody. Like, he was meant to be in government, not there. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. So I will see from the affidavit, I don't know exactly what is the point.
Comrade, thank you so much for your time, man.
Thank
in
you.
closing, when it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered as? Ntate Ronald Lamola.
As a rural South African who contributed to make South Africa a beautiful country.
Beautiful. Well said.
you.
Well
Yeah.
said, man.
Short and
Well
sweet.
said. Well said. We out here, man. Podcast and chill. Boom. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Black Excellence. Do not fear, for if you do, just sip on some grandeur. And if you still do, ask ourselves, what would Mapapunzi do? Parama chila, itlasha lefiki. Ungoyiki, even if when they ask you, how sabi yini? Do not fear, for if you do, just say, Anistivi. This is the medicine of censorship. This is the pill. Which one is that one? Podcast and